Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be prepping the short block for paint on this 80 series Land Cruiser. Dude, this is like chromish. if any of you do want this really shiny metallic silver, use the paint I showed you. We're going to be using our brass wire wheel just on a drill or on an angle grinder if you got one, to clean up all of the surface rust and all of the flange surfaces on both sides of the engine block. Well, all four sides really. I've got towels laying over everything on the bottom of the block where the crank is, and we're gonna get it all cleaned up. I also have a shop vac next to me and I'm gonna keep cleaning. And while you're doing this, make sure you have some kind of a face covering or mask or something on. All that dust is gonna get kicked up in the air and you don't want to breathe it in. So I already cleaned up this spot a little bit just to see how it would come out. Coming out nice and clean. I'm gonna go over the rest of it. And what we're aiming for here is not perfection, but just to get the majority of the gunk off the surface so that then we can prime it and paint it. Almost forgot to mention, wear eye protection because these little tiny wires, they will fly out every now and then as you're working and they'll poke you in the eye. If they poke you in the skin, no big deal, but you don't want it in your eye. And another thing, just a quick tip, start at the top edges because all this stuff will be floating around in the air and kind of settle down with gravity and get on the other surfaces. And it'll be hard to tell what you've already cleaned, what you haven't cleaned. So start at the top surfaces until we already got this section done. I hit all the flange surfaces, all of these, all the flat surfaces, and now I'm just gonna slowly make my way down. About 90% done. You can see these little spots in the corners, but overall, it's come out real good. I went ahead and ran the brush across the inside of this oil cooler section as well. I'm going to take and put this small one on that I just got on there, the small brush, and we're going to run it through all of those small sections. This side is nice and clean, and again, remember, you're not going for perfect. You're not gonna be able to get it perfect. You're going for good. Here's the last side. This is the grossest side by far. This is after pressure washing and degreasing and brake cleaner and everything. But let's get it all cleaned up. Making some progress. Let's keep going. So there's the end result. About as clean as that's gonna get.
First, let's get this thing blown off as best we can. There is just a little bit of dust and residue that's coming off of it. That's just what's left over from all the wire wheeling. So this is important. Make sure you don't skip this step. Next step is to spray it down with alcohol. What you want to use is called denatured alcohol. You can buy it at your hardware store. It's in the paint section. It's a type of paint thinner, but it makes an absolutely fantastic cleaner for all sorts of metal parts and other things around the house. It is also very toxic and abrasive. Make sure that whatever bottle you put it in to spray, you don't want to keep, because it'll ruin the nozzles on these things pretty regularly. I've gone through a few of these and they'll stop working. Now that I've got it sprayed down with alcohol, blown off again to dry it off with any remaining alcohol residue, moisture, stuff like that, we're ready for the next step. Next, we want to use some painter's tape to mask off anything we don't want painted and we don't want paint to get onto. That's very important. Grab yourself a roll of painter's tape. I've got a few rolls of blue. You can use any color you want. The green stuff, the beige colored stuff, the blue, whatever you like. The surfaces you want to tape up. Let me show you. So anything that has a bolt hole, or a hole, really. Any of these that have a hole for a bolt, you want to tape up. Do not get paint in there. You're gonna hate yourself later if you do. Next, the oil filter flange. All of these flat machine surfaces, every single one of these flat machine surfaces, something butts up against that and goes onto it. Tape it off. All of these. This bolt here, I'm gonna remove the bolt. That's for one of the galleys in the middle. Either tape it off along with that flange or remove the bolt and tape off the flange itself. You don't have to tape these off. I generally do. You don't have to. It's not gonna hurt anything. You can paint right over those if you want to. The logo for the 1FZ
and the serial number. It's not gonna hurt anything if you paint over it, but me personally, I'm gonna tape over it and not paint it. Now over on the front side of the motor, there are some people that will tape off all of these flat flange surfaces and the bolt holes, and they'll actually paint these inset sections. Me, personally, I'm not going to paint any of those. I don't want paint behind there, so what I'm gonna do is tape off the entire front. And of course, you've got the top of the motor. We're not gonna have these towels on here while we're painting. You wanna tape off everything up here. This is where the cylinder head's gonna sit and attach to the motor. You don't want any sort of paint residue at all to get up there. Before we start taping anything off, there's one more step. Now, cast iron is very porous and it has the ability to absorb oils, water, moisture, all kinds of stuff. If you want to skip this step, you probably can, but anytime I'm painting anything that is a cast material, cast iron, cast aluminum, I always do this step. Get yourself one of these things. What's that called, eh?
Blowtorch?
A what?
A blowtorch? I don't know.
It is a torch. It's called a map torch. Look on the label. It says map. That means it's map gas.
Like,
it is a very hot.
Shows you the way to the
No,
treasure?
it's the type of gas. It doesn't show you the way to the treasure. Get yourself a map torch, any local hardware store. They'll sell you the nozzle separately and you got the refill bottles. Get you one of these, and what we're gonna do is slowly hold the map torch over different areas. Stay away from these little plugs. You don't wanna melt them or damage them, but everything that's just cast iron, and you'll start to see the spot dry, and you just wanna keep on moving. Let's try it right here, and I'll show you what I mean. So you see that spot that just kind of dried out, and it's a little bit wet around it. That's all the moisture that's still in the metal there. So what we want to do, see, same thing happened there. We basically want to do that across all of the areas that we're going to paint. Now, you'll notice if I go over the same area, all of a sudden it looks like you got moisture again. It looks like it's drying out again. That's not what we're looking for, really. The main thing with this is getting the moisture that's in the metal out, and then getting any sort of grease and things that's on the surface burnt off and off of the metal. You'll notice you keep seeing, let me show you right here, for example. You see how it looks like it's drying out and there's a wet spot around the flame? That's normal. That's just science. The chemicals and the gas and the heat doing its thing. But as you go through, you will notice some areas where more moisture looks like it's coming off and you get some drier spots on the metal. And then the same, any areas where you have any additional gunk that's stuck, you'll see a flame, like something's burning off, or you'll see the grease and things like that dry up. That's really what we're looking for here. Got a bunch of these taped off. Now I'm gonna start cutting. Oh, wait, I forgot this one. Let me tape this off too. Now we're all done taping. You noticed I didn't tape anything on this side. That just attaches to the transmission bell housing, so it's fine. Roll some tape up and stick it in any holes that bolts go in where it has threads. You don't wanna get paint inside any of those bolt holes. Or buttholes, if you heard my son just now. Again, if you see any dirty spots or grease, wipe it down. And now we're ready to get started painting with the primer. Here's the primer we're gonna be using. Archie, hey, what you doing? What you doing? You wanna paint? You wanna paint? Here's the primer we're gonna be using. It's the Rust-Oleum automotive primer. This is for engines, and it does really well on cast iron. From all the research I've done, I haven't used it before, but on cast iron, you see, stops rust. It's a good idea to use this. You do want to use a primer. Some people don't, and that's fine if you don't want to use it. I'm going to use primer because I know paint doesn't like to stick to bare metal on its own. A primer base
even if it's thin, is a good idea. You want to shake this thing for a few minutes, and we'll start with a few light coats on each side and then come back within a minute or two and do a second coat, and then a third if we need to. All right, first thing we're gonna do, clean out the nozzle, and we'll get started. You just want a light dusting on this first coat. Make sure to change angles so you can get all the different parts. That's it for that side. All right, we had to set up a little fan because the fumes were pretty gross in here, even with both garage doors open. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area when you're doing this. All right, so we'll put the dust coat on this side. And we'll change angles. Got the second coat on. The second coat you want to put on a little bit thicker, not just the dusting. And at this point, I think we're good. Just read the instructions on the primer, so it looks like you've got to let it dry for 20 minutes. And then you've got two options to start painting. You can either let it dry overnight for 24 hours, and then after 24 hours, you paint. Or somewhere between 20 minutes and 1 hour, you can apply the top coat of paint. So we're not gonna wait till tomorrow. We wanna get this done. So after 20 minutes, I'll give it maybe 25 minutes. We'll put the first coat of paint on. We'll wait a little bit, then put the second coat on. Time to get some paint on there. This is the one we're using, Rust-Oleum engine enamel. It's the ceramic coating up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. And the color is cast coat aluminum. I was looking for something grayish. Darker gray would have been nice, but this is all I could find at the store, so that's what we'll go with. The first coat of paint on, same routine. We're gonna just lightly dust coat the first coat, and then we're gonna do a second coat and a third coat that's still light, but a little more than a dusting. Then the fourth coat will be the final coat. We've got that first coat on everything. We're gonna wait about 2 to 3 minutes, then get the second coat on. You wanna wait 2 to 3 minutes between each coat. Second coat is on. We're gonna give it another 2 or 3 minutes. What is my son doing? Oh my God. He's plasti dipping the cover for his Traxxas sledge. In white socks and white shoes with black paint. That's hilarious. Curious to see how this turns out. What coat number are you on? Second one? So if you're wondering how many cans of paint you need, 1 can of primer was way more than enough for the short block. Probably had half the can of primer still left that I could have done another short block with, or I guess if you want to do your cylinder head or something like that. 1 can of paint got me 3 coats in. This is coat number 3 that I just finished up. If you want 3 coats, 1 can of primer, 1 can of paint should be plenty for you to get to this point. If you want to put a 4th or a 5th coat of paint on, you need a 2nd can of paint. I'm gonna go for 5 coats just to get a nice thick coating on there. Let's see how he's doing. I think this is his 3rd coat of plasti dip on there. I saw he was even masking off the logos and stuff. I hope that paint doesn't stick to the tape
when he peels it off. I have a feeling it will. We'll check it out in a minute. This is coat number 4 on. It's almost looking like shiny metal at this point. There's so much metallic in this paint. You can really see it on this side with the lighting. It's very shiny. There it is. That is coat number 5 drying, and that's how the end result is gonna look. Yeah, I definitely would have gone darker if I knew it was this bright, but it's fine. We'll get this done in the car. So right now, we're gonna let this sit overnight till tomorrow. And for tonight, we are all done. Stinky? Yeah. If you'd like to support the channel and you like this kind of content, hit that thumbs up button below and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified whenever new videos are uploaded, hit that bell icon. It'll send you a notification on YouTube every time a new video gets uploaded. In the meantime, I love you guys. See you next time. Looks like he did a good job. Masked off the logos, masked off the windshield. That's the front. He just put some tape because it was all bashed up. That looks pretty good, man. Good job.
Yeah.
Nice work, buddy. Dude, this is like chromish. If any of you do want this really shiny metallic silver, use the paint I showed you. This is like super metallic and shiny. All right, that's enough. Time for dinner. Bye-bye. That looks good, man. How do you feel about it?
Should have covered the logos.
You think you should have covered the logos?
Yeah.
I think you need a Batman symbol on there now. No. You can always spray over the logos. Leave it like that for a day or two. All right. Bye for real. See ya.